It's been all these funny memes. I just saw one a little while ago, and it says, it's September 2022. You just entered Censor's Twitch stream to see who's been exposed for hacking. Without warning, you're hit with 1 out of 9 ads. You reluctantly use your Amazon Prime sub to see even the slightest rumor of Nadia hacking is true. Then, and it's a clip of Doug with no shirt on, dancing in his room and then doing a push-up. He's just scammed everyone.
That's fantastic.
And then during yesterday's stream, he kept claiming the thing wasn't working and he couldn't expose anyone or something.
Activision devs do not play their own
Shut the
game.
fuck up.
It's not your dad. Your
Not
dad
redoing
doesn't
it.
support you.
You should know. You worked at a coffee shop, you stupid bitch.
You guys like
My
our
name
new
is
intro?
Casey, and absolutely not.
Every voice
Tanner.
you're hearing
My
right
parents
now is
don't
a
name me
part
that
of
much.
the
Hey, did they
intro
have just
music.
8 patches lined up, but they just didn't
We
release
did
them
this
because
to
they were on
confuse
break?
you.
No,
We're not talking over
moron
the intro
kids.
music.
We'll of course
We
get
would
into
never do
it.
that.
Change your fucking name and get scammed. He's feeling under the
I
weather.
probably won't say another word
Oh,
until stay
man.
on this, so have a good pod, Raz. I'll
Got
be
it.
here listening.
Got it.
We are live! Welcome, boys and also girls, to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 267. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined once again by Tiny Tanner.
Yeah.
How's life, Tiny Tanner?
Good.
Good, man. That's
Be better
good to
in
hear.
28 days, 8 hours, 30 minutes, and 13 seconds.
I completely agree with you. And at the end of that specific timer is when we will, of course, be getting Modern Warfare 2, 2022 2 edition 2, second edition 2 dose. Welcome to the show. Today we have a mid-season update to kind of talk about. So we'll get into that. That's the biggest thing to discuss today is the Season 5 Reloaded, the final big update for Warzone 1, which, funnily enough, people on the TL, Raven devs we unfortunately follow on the TL, are saying is a bittersweet moment. And I think it is only a sweet moment, actually. I don't think there's any bitterness to it at all. In fact, I wish Season 3 was the last update to Caldera. So
yeah, like Season 3 Reloaded or something would have been
Yeah.
a good ending to Caldera.
that would have been great. Yeah, let's get the balloons and then fucking pack it up, Raven. Keep the servers online. That's it. That's all. So anyway, welcome to the show. Today, that's what we're talking about. We have some news as well. A couple of Warzone 2 leaks also, which is going to be interesting to get into. And that is kind of it. So not too much. But before that, a couple announcements. And if you're a new listener, you want to skip to the good shit, there are timestamps, so you can do that. Now, welcome to our new gold patrons. We got a lot of gold patrons in the past week, and we love that. Okay, and why would someone go to patreon.com/thedropshot and sign up? It's a great question, and here's why. You get the episodes early, the public ones, and you get them without ads, and you get bonus episodes every month. It's a lot. All starting at the low price of $5 United States per month. It's a great deal. Very happy about it, and all of these smart people agreed. Welcome to our new gold patrons, Oorah Kyle. Change it. Kyle was in the core. His Patreon profile picture is our logo on something,
Let's go.
which I respect.
That's
I like
dope.
that.
Yeah, shout out to Kyle.
Take a better quality picture and definitely iron the shirt before you take a picture of it. It's _iron the shirt before you take a picture of it.
Yeah, is that like him taking a selfie of his shirt? Is that his hand in the bottom? What is
I
that?
believe it is, yeah, because the logo's like folded over, you know.
You
Looks
can
like
buy a
it's on
shirt
cloth.
from us, but you only join at the gold tier. That's interesting. Join at a higher tier next time, Kyle.
Got it.
Fuck you.
So fuck you, Kyle, and welcome aboard, buddy. We also got Kevin. Just Kevin, okay. And
Solid.
this is an old dying man. obviously. Hard to tell from the, again, Patreon resolution, but looks pretty old. I don't know. He's got a hat on, so Tanner likes him.
Kev?
Kev, yeah. Good old Kev.
Yeah, does he have a dog at his feet? Or is that just like, is his right foot really large?
It's a great question, and I don't know what's going on there, actually. I didn't notice that till you said it.
He may have a little tiny pup there with him or something. Kev,
Yeah,
you got a pup?
I don't know.
You got a little pup.
Possible. Anyway, Kev, welcome aboard. Also, J Flow, absolutely change it. And his avatar is a suit. Why? Or is this a tuxedo? What's the difference? Can someone explain what a suit is versus a tuxedo?
No, I know this. I can't think of it right now. Fuck. Doesn't a tuxedo have something else underneath it? What is the fuck? What is the difference?
Maybe. Or there's definitely a real difference. I just don't know what it is. So, anyway. Change it, J-Flow, obviously.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Whatever. J-Flow, change it. Hate the profile picture, but welcome aboard, buddy. We also got Tech XR. I don't even know what your picture is. It's like a chicken cartoon drawing or something?
I don't even know how you took a guess at that. That's one of those images that you look at and you just can't tell at all anything that's going on.
Oh, I think it's some guy with an orange cowboy hat on, actually.
All right.
See his teeth and his beard?
Nope.
And he's
I
got
see a
cards
bunch of
in his
colors.
left hand.
I need to be zoomed in about another 400% to tell what it is.
It looks like some guy with long hair, a beard. His eyes are jaundiced. He has an orange cowboy hat. He has 5 cards in his left hand. And it looks like he's got a stem in his right hand. That's what it looks like to me. I hate it, obviously. And I hate your name, too. Tech XR.
That's a sweat name. He's a Rebirth Reaper for sure.
That's possible. That's probably true, yeah. So, anyway, whatever. Tech! Welcome, buddy. And thank you. Daniel Q, who didn't change his profile picture. Good. I don't know why anyone ever does this. I would never even think to upload a profile picture on Patreon. Why? Why do so many people do it? I wonder if when you make an account, it's like very obvious that you should or something. I don't know. Anyway, Daniel, good for you, man. Good for you for not doing that, for being a fucking adult. And welcome aboard, buddy. Your name's fine. And then back to dog shit. Angry Robot. Again, what I'm looking at. Is this wolves? In like Minnesota?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Get glasses. But anyway, yeah. Angry Robot. Hate it. Change it. Welcome. Unwish. Our next one.
What is... That's like a cult avatar. I think he's in some sort of cult. What the fuck is that?
It's a lime green symbol, though.
It's like a circle with like a line going through the
lime
middle of it.
Green. Yeah,
I don't know.
It looks culty besides the lime green color. That kind of makes it less serious, you know? I don't know.
What
I don't
does
know,
that
man.
mean?
Yeah, it's a good question. So unwish, let us know what that means. Also, change it.
I don't think
obviously.
we want to know what it means.
Yeah, maybe not.
He's in a
Either
cult.
way, whatever. And last but not least, Mark M. And I feel like this profile picture isn't even you. It's probably a celebrity or something. The quality of it is too good. Some 5 o'clock shadow. Looks like a magazine picture, like some celebrity took for an interview. You know?
Damn, you're calling Mark a celeb, huh?
No,
Not a big
I'm saying
fan
he's
of
impersonating
the...
a celeb.
I like the name Mark. The first name Mark is fine, but I don't
Mark's
like
a
it
fine
together.
name.
I don't like his first and last name together.
I thought you would have really liked that last name for
Really?
reasons. Yeah, for
Arthur?
reasons.
And
Yeah, well, don't dox him, you fucking moron.
pretty sure when you just introduced him, you said his first and last name, didn't you? I think you did.
I definitely 100% did not.
Got
know.
it.
So,
Well,
Cool.
change it, Mark.
yeah, now definitely change it because now the Dropshot community is going to find your house. They're gonna look up your incredibly common name, find 100 million other people with it, and then find you for sure. So, Mark, welcome, buddy. Much appreciated. Thank you all, our new gold patrons. We also got a new annual gold patron. This person is smart. They wanted a 16% discount. By the way, this name looks familiar to me. I don't know who or where I know this person from, but I feel like I do. Jonathan, without an HG. Welcome. A new annual gold patron, getting that hefty discount, man. Locking it in, getting a hefty discount. Does that name look familiar to you?
No, not really.
Okay.
It's a common
Here's what
name.
I'll say, Johnny
Fairly
boy.
common.
Don't ever spell Jonathan without an H. I can't stand it. It bothers me so much.
An H
Go
where?
change your name.
I thought that's like the normal spelling that I see. The way he has it spelled.
Is it?
I
No
know-
way.
well,
Hold on.
I don't have much
Let
to
me
base
look it
that
up.
off. I know like 2 people named Jonathan, and they both spell it that same way.
No, I think you're right, actually. I think I just mixed it up with John. So, well, change it anyway because I want you to. But yeah, you're right. It is. Oh, no. I guess it can be both. I Googled it and I'm seeing like both are fine. I wonder how Jonathan is normally spelled. I think it is with an H though. John.
That doesn't look right. When you
It doesn't.
when you
You're
spell
right.
it that way, Google even auto corrects it.
Yeah, but then click on. But then look at the 2 links. They're both Jonathan with an H.
Yeah, I don't. It looks very weird with the H though. I like this spelling a lot better.
I wonder what's normal. My whole life is in shambles. Fuck you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
You confused me, man.
Go by
and I don't
Johnny or
appreciate
something.
that. Yeah, but welcome aboard, buddy. Very much appreciated. Our annual gold patron, and most importantly, upgrading from gold straight to Damascus, I think. I'm pretty sure. Let me check, actually. I don't do Euro conversions. I'm an adult, so hold on. Let me look this up. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Upgrading from gold to Damascus, Cox! Friend of the pod, longtime listener. He did it. I think he might have, I don't know. If you've like been a patron before and you re-sign up, by the way, I don't get an alert. I'm not ignoring you if that happened. I just like don't see it. And not gonna.
Ain't gonna see it. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, anyway, just to get that out of the way. Because I think I saw someone in Discord who had, like, activated again or something. And then it didn't come up in my list. And I was like, oh, I guess it doesn't do that.
Well,
Which I
also
think I've
when
said
people
before.
are like already Damascus and then they re-sign as like yearly Damascus, I don't think you get a noti for that either when they were already that tier and they just extended it. We've had people say that too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, there are some weird things. So, anyway. Anyway, Cox! Governor, welcome aboard, buddy. Thank you very much for the upgrade, my sweet, sweet king.
Don't call him
And that
your
is
sweet
it.
king.
And that is it. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Best way to support the absolute program, bonus eps, early access eps, ad-free eps, and more. Check it out. Patreon.com/thedropshot.
Yeah.
Hold on. I need to write something down. Okay. So, speaking of the Patreon, a couple other things. And again, there are timestamps you can skip if you want. And fuck you. Our last Patreon app of the month will be going live tomorrow, the 30th at 3 a.m. Pacific time. Just in time for work for most of you in the Western Hemisphere. And that is a good one. This morning, our behind the scenes episode went live. That was quite fun as well. That is for our Damascus little buds. And then prior to that, we had recorded a deep dive into, which is also a live episode, the create a class system for MW2, having played the beta. I thought all 3 of these episodes went quite well. Unfortunately, for the create a class kind of deep dive Patreon bonus episode we did at patreon.com/thedropshot, which is now live, we couldn't really go into detail on the gunsmith, or it would have been would have been short-sighted to do that because we don't know that much about the gunsmith yet. So we kind of just didn't do that. But everything else we went into a lot of detail on. The perks, the field upgrades, the tacticals, the lethals. We talked about what you should use, what you definitely shouldn't use, what's good, what's bad, etc. That was a long fucking episode, and I really enjoyed that. And then we did our behind the scenes. There was some fun and exciting behind the scenes shit in that episode as well. So if you're a Damascus patron, that's now live. And then tomorrow, again, going live, is going to be a super deep dive into Warzone 2 leaks. Because we got some leaks, which we're going to talk about today in some detail. But in that bonus episode that's going to be going live, we went into a lot of detail. Because there are really a ton of questions and a ton of implications of those leaks. And we'll touch on those today, but if you want us to get way deeper on that, that's exactly why we do bonus episodes. So that's on the Patreon. But yeah, what were your impressions? We finished the month. This is our first month of the overhaul. We've recorded all the eps, and they're almost all live.
My impressions are,
man?
We gave them way too much content for as little as $5 a month. That's what my thoughts are. So we cut it down to 3 regular like COD episodes instead of 4 for gold, you know. And it was probably an hour's more worth of recordings, even though it was less episode. First ep, I think we did it, the beta final review. We haven't even talked. I don't even think you just mentioned that because we did that Monday.
That too. God, it's just so much bonus content.
We did every day. Yeah, we recorded every day this week, 2 times a day, in fact. So the beta final impressions as it ended, that went live whenever. That was like over 2 hours. We went into detail on a lot of things, what we liked, what we didn't like. Overall, though, you know, mostly it doesn't necessarily always come off the most positive because it's easier to critique things that could easily be changed, but we both really, really enjoyed the beta. And then, yeah, the Warzone kind of related episode we did yesterday, I thought that was interesting. That's one coming out tomorrow, you said, right? That one's not out yet?
Where
we talked about like Warzone thoughts,
yeah. Correct.
Yeah,
that's the only one that's not out.
Yeah, so now since we played Modern Warfare, we got a feeling of it. We kind of went more in depth and went back to how we think it could relate to Warzone, how certain things will play, how the guns will perform, maybe early meta thoughts and whatnot. So I thought that was a banger one. And then what was the last? Oh, where we talked about like lethals, tacticals, perk system. A lot of the perk system, that stuff, we went really pretty in depth into that, and you know, kind of don't know how that's going to work on launch. I feel like some of that might change because the system kind of doesn't make any sense the way it currently works, and we talked about why on that. But yeah, a lot of good episodes this week. I thought I had a lot of fun talking about the beta and Warzone shit and whatnot. Sorry it all came the last few days, but hey, at least we didn't have to talk about Warzone 1 and you guys didn't have to listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad we waited. Yeah, one thing that's interesting actually about the episode, the create a class ep we did on MW2, it's kind of like a brainstorm for me because there were a couple like field upgrades I didn't really think about using that after like reading it and talking about it, I was like, I should be using that actually, and perks as well. So if you like brainstorm eps, it kind of had that vibe sort of in a way. So yeah. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed them all. But yeah, patreon.com/dropshot. Other than that, any other announcements here? MW2 comes out soon. We're very excited for it.
And campaign in 21 days now, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. So now is an especially important time for you to go to thedropshot.com, find us on Twitter at the Dropshot Pod, and then join the join the Discord. Do all of it, obviously. But Discord and Twitter, we post our schedules every week. And we usually do Thursday and Saturday eps, noon Pacific time. And then some gameplay streams in there sometimes. But for the next month, I think most weeks are going to be kind of fucking weird. Because MW2 is coming out. If we're getting intel drops and shit, the schedule is probably going to be pretty wonky as we get nearer to MW2. So if you're like a live viewer or even if you're not and you just want to know when the thing's going to hit your RSS feed, make sure you're following those accounts or at the Dropshot Pod. And then you can join the Discord, see the schedule there as well. That shit's going to get weird. And I'm just super fucking excited, but it's going to be a crazy month in the best way possible. So very much looking forward to all of that. So other than that, that's it. Let's get into this thing. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is. Longer than it normally is to me for some reason. That was weird. I was expecting it to start fading out sooner. I don't know. Welcome to the broadcast. All right, let's get into it. So we had yesterday or today Warzone Season 5 mid-season update, which is the final big update to Warzone 1 ever, probably. I don't know if they're going to keep doing new seasons when Warzone 2 comes out.
No.
Yeah, they won't. Okay. So yeah, this is the final one. I couldn't be happier, not because I was begging for more Warzone 1 content, because it's dead. It's gone. It hasn't had a heartbeat for a week. You can't just defibrillate it. Okay? It's over as far as I'm concerned. So I don't care that there's a new season. And I'm not happy about that because it added new content, right? I'm happy because it is a sign that we are real close to MW2. Finally, the devs aren't working on Warzone 1 anymore in any great capacity. I don't know what the fuck Raven's going to be doing now, but Ted Timmy Timmons is getting tearful on the TL. About
he actually was, though. That's what's funny.
Like literally crying.
Yeah, he had some little heartfelt tweets sent out. His time on Warzone.
We talked a little bit about Ted in the behind the scenes episode. As much as I just cannot fucking stand his ideas, he seems like a nice enough guy, I guess.
Seems like a nice
he just fucking ruined Warzone 1. But anyway, whatever. Yeah. So I'm happy because again, yeah, it's a sign that Warzone 2 is coming and MW2 is coming and games that are fun to play are coming, which Warzone 1 is not. So full disclosure, couple things. I don't care about this update. I don't care about the content of it. And if possible, we're probably going to end up playing it.
I don't know.
But maybe not, though.
If we didn't play it in the first few days, the chances of us ever playing this update are really going to dwindle.
Yeah, so here's the full disclosure, guys. I know this is a Call of Duty podcast, but here's the thing. We just do not care about Warzone 1 or MW 2019 at all. One iota. And we talked about this at patreon.com/dropshot. Especially after having played the MW2 beta, that's all I want now. I've been spoiled. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience, but I've had it a couple times. Let's say you're sitting there at the park, for example.
Park. What park?
And you're eating strawberries. Okay. I love strawberries. They're my favorite fruit. They're goated.
I have a question before you go any further.
Okay.
Are we talking whole strawberries? You're taking bites of them, or did you pre-slice them up and you're eating them with like a fork or something?
Whole strawberries.
Whole strawberry. Okay. At a park. All right. Got it. I'm there. I'm there.
Mm-hmm. You get more juice that way.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's easier, less prep, obviously. But anyways, so I'm eating whole ass strawberries at a park. Okay. It's a nice day out. They're delicious. Love them. And they're sweet.
They are.
They're very sweet. And then some guy walks up to me and he's like, hey, you want some Skittles? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Sure. So I grab a couple Skittles. I throw those in my stupid fucking mouth. I chew them and I swallow them. Those are sweet too. Those are very sweet, in fact.
Yeah.
Then guess what happens next? I take another bite of a strawberry and it's almost like it's a different item now. Because it's not fucking sweet anymore. In fact, that strawberry is going to be sour now.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because I ate Skittles, dude. Because the sweetness of the Skittles was so delicious and sweet, it ruined the strawberries for me. Now, that is exactly what has happened to me with Warzone 1. Kind of. The difference is I actually enjoy strawberries, even before eating Skittles. Warzone 1, I was not enjoying even before the MW2 beta. But especially after the MW2 beta, I'm definitely not even, it's not even going to be possible for me to enjoy Warzone 1. So that's where we're at. So my point is this. I have not played this new season. Hopefully I won't. It's going to depend on how many intel drops we get, frankly, between now and release. And I could not care less about this. And I'm done with Warzone 1. I am mentally resigned. Now, maybe I'll play more if we need to, because we do have obligations to the community. But here's the thing. Most of you are in the same boat as us. You don't give a fuck about Warzone 1, do you? And you shouldn't. And good for you. So we're going to talk about this mid-season update. We're going to go into some depth.
Well,
an amount of depth. Maybe not too deep.
We'll read a few of the patch notes. That's what we'll do.
Go into some things, right? But we are not going to be taking this as seriously as we otherwise would. Because we don't care, and I don't think you guys do either. Okay? But there are some things we should talk about, so that's what we're doing. So, do you have anything to add, or did I sum you up correctly on this?
I think you summed us up, yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I would have stopped covering Warzone about 3 months ago if it were up to me, but it was a little too early to call it quits, so now it's
a little bit.
Now it's finally at that point where we can call it quits. My SSD messed up the other day and wasn't recognizing that it was plugged in. So I had to reinstall Battle.net, so now Warzone's not even installed, and I haven't reinstalled it yet. And if I need to, I will. I have fast enough, my downloads are pretty quick. It'll get installed fast. But as of now, I'm going to leave that sucker uninstalled, I think, until I feel the need to reinstall it someday. If ever.
Yeah.
So,
correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there we go. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and then the last disclosure, haven't read any of these notes. I did spend about an hour watching streams this morning, though. I was watching Symphony, and I was watching Breadman play Warzone today. And it looked...
Bread boy.
It looked a little different. The ground looked different, so...
Yeah, the ground looks different.
But anyway, let's get into it. All right, so here are the patch notes. So it starts with a very long preamble.
I'm ready
and
to
it's
cry.
kind of like a oh god, what's the word? It's not a eulogy, it's something else. There's a word for when you say things.
Speak.
And it's sad. A dirge, maybe. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but whatever. It's like a signing off kind of thing.
Chris Pollock and ask if he knows the word.
Yeah, I bet he does. You can ask him what a fucking object of a sentence is too. Fucking moron. So here it is, the final major update for this era of Warzone. We want the final era. Let's be clear. There's this era, and then there's you guys are done supporting it, and it dies. Those are the eras. So cool. We wanted to thank our players, and they capitalized players.
They capitalized players.
Please God, it took 2 sentences for them to fuck this up. We've learned so much this year. I'm not reading this, actually. I don't care. Perhaps where we're left most proud is with our team's work that has gone into quality of life improvements and our focus on reducing points of friction in the core gameplay loop. Okay. Okay. That said, we aren't quite finished yet. To be fair, actually, they did do a lot of good quality of life updates. As we detail the final set of improvements further below, we hope this transparent push for changes big and small has been Common Splice has been well received and helped craft the game experiences you want to play. Yeah, so I don't care. So they're just like signing off, whatever. Then there are a bunch of playlist updates. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. Nope. Champions
Fortune's
of
Keep-
Caldera solos, Iron Trials quads. What about Fortune's Keep?
Fortune's Keep CDL Trios Open is this weekend.
Oh, okay.
So like that, the open tournament they had for Caldera. Yeah, Caldera. Now they're doing it. It's the Fortune's Keep one, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how many cheaters win that. Yeah, so it's Iron Trials quads, which is going to be the week of the 13th of October. Champion of Caldera solos. And then Golden Plunder quads. I don't know what that means. That's going to be on Caldera. It'll be terrible, I'm sure.
They're keeping Rebirth in some capacity for the next month always, so.
That's cool. Good for them.
Solos and quads is pretty much always in, it appears.
Okay. So, anyway, now next section here is modes. Greatest hits of the year.
Don't need to read this.
Okay.
I think you're just talking about what other modes they're going to be putting in soon, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
None of that matters either. Most of these patch notes don't matter. For being the last mid-season update, this is an underwhelming patch other than the 400 weapon balance changes they made.
Okay, there is one section I need to read. So
Okay.
So this is modes, subcategory greatest hits of the year. Here are one of the paragraphs or sentences. Regarding the greatest hits LTMs, players can expect to enjoy the following appearing in rotation. When you think of Warzone playlist greatest hits, Tanner, what is the first thing you think of?
I think of buybacks, personally.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Right? Of course you do. Because you've played Warzone before, right?
I've played Warzone.
Guess what's not
buybacks.
on this list of quote-unquote greatest hit LTMs?
It is down in the Caldera section. It's one of them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Buybacks? Oh, it's buybacks. Sorry. Okay, yeah, never mind then. Sorry. My bad. What was the other one people liked? It was Stimulus, right?
I don't remember.
If they included buybacks, that's fine. I take it back. Yeah, I missed that. Why did they write Battle Royale buybacks? That's why I missed it. It's just, anyway, whatever. So, okay, cool. There will be buybacks. I don't know if we've ever fucking had buybacks on Caldera. If we have, I think
it's been
exactly
a while.
Once. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had it often, which has been super unfortunate because that always was the best game mode, in my opinion.
Yeah. But it's just redundant now with all the tokens, so
Exactly.
I do wonder how different that'll feel, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think the last time I played buybacks, maybe it's been in, but like the last time I played it, this was well before all the tokens and everything were in the game.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, you're right. It won't really feel like buybacks now if, after playing with gulag tokens and extraction tokens for so long now.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, okay. And then next section here is general. There's a new cinematic outro from Butcher.
Cool, man.
When you load into Warzone. Where has he been, you may ask? Definitely wasn't gonna ask that. I don't know who Butcher is, by the way. Who's Butcher?
Are you serious, man?
Who is Butcher, man?
I don't know. I don't like
an operator.
I hate the Call of Duty lore. I don't care about it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Whatever. This is actually pretty cool. The idea anyway is pretty cool.
Yeah, these are kind of cute. I like these.
It's cute. There are a lot of missed opportunities, but they got some right. Warzone stories calling cards. As we conclude season 5, we want to reflect on and immortalize a few fun stories that have had, the community talking. The following calling cards, capitalize calling and not cards. Who writes for you, dude? Hire me to just write for you or proofread for you.
Yeah, proofread I think is all you need.
Hire a fucking undergrad lit student from a state college and they could just make these so much better.
I feel like Bjorn would know enough to proofread this even. And he's 14.
You do a better job than whoever the fuck's writing this. Yeah. So anyway, quality control, by the way, unionized, by the way, are available to which it's not that big of a deal. Relax. But it does fucking annoy me. Are available to everyone for free from day one as a thank you to the community for sharing in these fun and memorable moments. So there's some little calling cards here to memorialize the various epochs of Warzone. So first, Warzone stories. King Growl. The meta of all metas, the Growl is one of the all-time great weapons. Capitalized. Let's celebrate its legacy as the true AR king that shall not be forgotten or dethroned. So it was dethroned, but okay. And then the calling card is the Growl. It says MW Growl 556. There is a frankly quite tacky looking Growl on the calling card because there are 2 stickers on it and a weapon charm. Take them off.
Yeah.
And then there's like a big crown over the name. The calling card looks decent, and it's a very cool idea. Because the Growl, if you're gonna like immortalize, as they've said, the Warzone eras, you gotta do the Growl. So they nailed it with this one.
I think
for
Growl
sure.
was overwhelming the favorite AR meta in Warzone history, I would say.
I think overall it probably was. Yeah.
The most liked meta.
I agree.
Cool.
And for good reason too, by the way. By the way, notice the iron sights on the Growl.
Mm-hmm.
You convinced me that you do in fact need rear and front irons. I conceded that. And then the Growl does it, but look, there's no dumb fucking circle. You can, those irons are just as good at doing what they need to do, and I can also see above them. Why doesn't every gun not have a circle like this? I don't get it. So, is this based on a real gun, or is it they just make this up? Do you know?
Oh, I'm sure it's based on something. I don't know what it is, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Any gun nerds, let us know what the Growl is based on. From my time in the Corps, I don't remember seeing this gun, so...
Dude, someone's actually going to cancel you if you keep doing that, man. Disclaimer, Raz was not in the Corps.
I was not in the Corps. I never spent any time in the Corps.
Did not spend any time in the Corps, yeah.
I'm talking about the Peace Corps, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Well, what else would you be talking? Would people think you're talking about the Marine Corps? No.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely not. I would never do that. I would never steal valor like that. Hey, if it isn't obvious to you that I wasn't in the fucking military, then, I mean, hey, cancel me away. Anyway. Next, Cracked Meta is the title of the next calling card. A meta remembered for varying reasons. Ahem. God, they're emoting. Is the cracked DMR 14 from Cold War, from the second year of Warzone. If you're still a DMR, and they put Cold War in parentheses again, just so we are super clear, demon, then may this calling card represent you well. So this is a like cartoonish looking calling card. It's like a fucking Looney Tunes.
It's like style. A comic style.
Yeah, like a comic book style. That's a better way to put it. Yeah. And it is a DMR, except it is broken in half because it's cracked. And yeah, and it's blue and it's colorful and it looks cool. I think this calling card looks really cool. And if you're going to do this, here's my thing though. Hot take. The DMR was fucking insane. I barely would call it a meta though, because it was like 2 or 3 weeks. It was 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. Was this really a meta? You know?
Well, it's known as the most busted gun in Warzone history.
That is true. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I'm not mad that they included it. But yeah, in light of what they didn't include, I am kind of mad actually. But we'll get into that when we're through the list, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, they could have made 400 calling cards, but out of all the guns they could pick, that's absolutely the top one that I would have picked as well, the DMR.
Really?
Absolutely.
We'll get into it, but I like, obviously it was the most overpowered gun of all time.
Oh,
it's just that it was only 2 weeks, you know?
It was 2 miserable weeks, though.
It was two fucking terrible, atrocious weeks.
Or amazing weeks. If you didn't get shot at with it and you shot people, it was the most fun game. My highest kill game ever on Verdansk was during the DMR meta.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Yeah, it was I mean, it was a good gun for sure, but anyway. So then the next one is Eagle Child. So this is based off of a meme. I have seen this before. Apparently some guy would hear his teammates say Ego Chow, and the guy thought that his friend was saying Eagle Child. So in light of this, they made a calling card that is a baby with an eagle's wings.
Cute little baby.
And they called it Eagle Child. I think this is kind of funny. I like it.
Yeah.
Looks good too. It's nice artwork.
It
is a
yeah,
funny story, honestly. I like this actually
Eagle
a lot.
Child. I like it too.
I think this is a good idea.
I think it's cool they're doing that.
Yeah, it's a cute little story. And it goes to show that what they're trying to convey, which is in some sense true, is that they're in touch with their community and they saw the funny story about Warzone.
Yeah.
So cool. And then the next one, if someone in chat or in the comments on YouTube, like and subscribe, smash the noty button bell. I'm a YouTuber. If someone can explain what the fuck this is a reference to, I would love it, because I don't understand what this is at all. I missed it. So this one's called Big Fish. And the calling card is a blue whale with the letters BIGFISH on it. So it's Big Fish. And then here's their description. Is it a mammal or is it a real big fish? Of course it's a mammal, but we wanted those who are grossly misinformed to still feel represented. I don't get it. What is this in reference to?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm guessing there is some viral TikTok of two big streamers arguing about whether or not a mammal or a whale is a mammal. And then the devs wanted to suck them off.
Probably some COD partner, yeah.
That has to be it, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the fuck else this is a reference to.
Yeah, and that one's if that's the case, this is way too specific to put as a calling card. Because I have literally no idea what this means.
Yeah, I don't get it either. It's
very
weird to me. And also, it's fair to not know a whale is a mammal. Did you know that?
Oh, if that a whale is a mammal?
Uh-huh.
Never really thought about it, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like most people wouldn't know that. Or a lot wouldn't, anyway.
I think it's a little fish, I think. A little miniature fish.
Well, it's a pretty big one, but...
Is it?
You know the blue whale is the biggest animal that they've ever found on Earth?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like, including in the past.
Yeah.
There aren't fossils of bigger animals than a blue whale.
How long are them suckers?
Fucking enormous, dude.
Yeah.
I saw that on TikTok and I was like, wait, weren't there other fish like dinosaur fish that were way fucking bigger? And then so I went and looked it up and no, the blue whale is just fucking massive, dude.
Big
fucking
old
huge.
Fish, huh?
Yeah, no, it's way bigger than a megalodon, Jax. I know, I was surprised too, because I saw that on TikTok and I was like, oh, like every TikTok, this is wrong. But let me make sure. And then I looked it up and it's not wrong. Yeah, it's the biggest animal
TikTok
ever recorded. Yeah, it was very interesting. But it is a mammal. Yeah, whales are mammals because they have hair and they give live birth and they breathe water. They don't have gills.
Can grow more than 100 feet long.
That's so fucking crazy. Imagine like a basketball hoop.
The longest one ever recorded was 108 feet or 33 meters long. It's about as long as 3 school buses lined up end to end.
Yeah.
Just swimming around in the ocean, man.
Or 10 basketball hoops stacked on top of each other. That long. That's so big, dude. And they're not like skinny. They're fucking thick, dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's the other thing is like that sounds long, but then you realize also how fucking wide and thick the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Them creatures are long.
Yeah, those are big suckers.
We should get one when we get a Dropshot recording mansion. We should throw one in the backyard somewhere.
Get a little aquarium.
Get
a blue whale.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a little aquarium. Yeah, that'd be good.
Any Oilers?
What are your thoughts on turtles? What are your thoughts on getting a little turtle? You like turtles?
Like a tortoise or like a sea turtle?
I don't know. Good question.
I'll take any type of turtle. Yeah, we saw some sea turtles in Hawaii. Dude, they're so fucking cute. They'll just be swimming there, and all of a sudden their dumb little head comes out of the water, and they look around. Fuck, they're
yeah,
really
they're dope,
cute.
Dude.
They're super
they're
cute.
Cool.
We had tortoises
big,
growing up. We had desert tortoises. Quite a few of them, actually.
I'm always surprised how big they are. There's a TikTok account I follow of this guy has a tortoise, and it's like 80 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like takes care of it, and it's fucking chill like that, dude. They're cool, man.
Yeah, some
they
of them
can move, by the way.
Yeah,
if they need to.
they can move pretty
mob.
quick. We had quite a few neighbors growing up. My parents' next door neighbors and other neighbor down the street that had a bunch of tortoises, and the neighbor across the street had a big one. I mean, this thing was probably, I would guess, about 30 to 36 inches long. It was a big one. It was one of those massive suckers. Ours was like,
that's huge.
Our biggest one was probably like a foot long or so.
Yeah,
them suckers are massive.
Only problem with a tortoise is you can't really pet it.
Can't do anything. They're fun to feed. It's fun to just hold out like a piece of lettuce and just let it eat it.
Lechuga.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah, they're cool.
And then they fall on their back and die. That's what happened to our last one.
Are you serious?
Because they can't roll back over. Yeah, and
you
then
just didn't flip it in time or something.
I don't remember what happened where we were.
Home.
Yeah, we came home and it was like in the driveway in the backyard though, flipped upside down and it died. Poor thing.
That sucks, dude.
It'll
How
kill
does
him.
it get flipped?
It was also, great question. They're so dumb. I don't know. They just flip over. It's insane. It was in the middle of nowhere, just in the middle of a flat concrete driveway, flipped over. Maybe a neighbor came over and killed him. Now that I think about it, I don't know. But they would flip over all the time.
I feel like it was like some little kid, actually. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
the
know
gate's
how
like
else
locked and shit. I don't know. That's the thing. They just flip over. It's insane. I don't get it.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Rip. His name was Sherman after the Sherman tank in World War II. Because you would just fucking crawl over everything, man. Shout out to Sherman. He was like 20 years old, I think.
That's a good name for a tortoise.
Yep. Sherman the tortoise, man.
Shout out to Sherman, friend of the pod. Anyway, next is pest control. We've all been there. Rebirth Island, Grandma's house. There's a rat hiding in the darkest corner possible. Your game, by the way. Show your pest control capabilities with this special calling card that is sure to put fear into every Rose operator for 100 miles. By the way, they spelled Rose wrong. That is not how your operator is spelled. Their operator is R-O-Z-E.
Oh my god, man.
Not R-O-S-E. Come on, man. Anyway. Cool idea. Kind of funny because they're like poking fun at how bad the visibility is in their game. So that's kind of interesting. I like it though.
Yeah.
But the concept is cool actually. It's like it's literally some guy in a rose skin crouched in a corner and then someone else has a flashlight on him.
Yeah.
Ready to blast.
That's a shotgun too, right? It's hard to tell what gun that is. It looks weird, whatever it is.
I don't know what the fuck that muzzle device is.
I don't know what's going on.
It looks very large. Yeah. So, anyway. And then the last one. Swap seat snipe. We've seen some absolutely incredible content come from planes. Yikes! With one of the most impressive being the wealth of snipes from the passenger seat. Equip this calling card while sniping from 1,000 feet up to show your opponents just how calculated it was. And then it's 2 planes dogfighting, which is never how a plane has ever been used in Warzone, by the way. A plane has never shot at another plane in Warzone once. That's never happened. All they do instead is get in the plane and fuck my ass while I'm trying to get a loadout. They don't shoot at each other. They shoot at people on the ground. Sick design. So they've made some fan fiction in this calling card where planes are shooting each other. And then it says swap seat snipe. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I think that one's kind of cute. I think that's based off of, there was a video on Twitter that went kind of viral, and I saw like Ted retweeted it and shit, and it was a guy using the crossbow, getting in a plane, flying straight up, seat swapping, looking down, sniping someone with a crossbow, like 300 meters or something. It was an insane shot, so I think that's kind of what this is based off of. That's all that kid does. He tries to do like trick shots and stuff, I guess.
Huh.
But
yeah, I mean, those clips are super cool, but you know,
this is a cool looking calling card too. I think the way it's designed.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, aesthetically, it looks good. Cool. So I mean, this is all well and good, but here's the thing, though. We are missing. There are some glaring, obvious missed opportunities here. Allow me to provide you with some. The MW MP5, which was meta for 10 years. How do we not have that calling card, man? How do we not have that? That was an era. What about the Bruin? That was an era. Why do we not have the Bruin? And then And especially, perhaps, why not the Kilo? People fucking loved the Kilo. Everyone loved the Kilo. Why wouldn't you make that a calling card? And then there are some other guns I would have made calling cards too. Probably. Although those three are like super obvious that they definitely should have done, in my opinion. But some maybe less obvious ones. R9, hated it, but it was meta for a pretty long time. The M-Dub car, duh. How do you not have that as a calling card? I think that's probably it, actually. Maybe the AMAX, too. That could have been a decent one. I think those are the missed opportunities. And that's kind of what pisses me off about the DMR. Like, yeah, it was really good for 2 weeks. But, like, the R9 was really good for 2 seasons. Like, 6 months. Like, 2, like, terrestrial seasons. So, like, why wouldn't you do that instead? I don't know. It's weird. So, unfortunately, there were some missed opportunities, but I don't ultimately give a fuck at all. And I think the idea itself is kind of cool. I do wonder if they're going to add any more Warzone stories calling cards.
No,
I kind of doubt it, but anyway, cute little idea. There you go. All right, so now into more substantive notes here. Gameplay updates. So this is something we had talked about, and I think they either made a tweet, a blog post, or a Twitter poll.
That was the Twitter one, yep.
Okay, about reducing the cost of loadouts. And here's what they say. Similar to Titanium Trials, loadout drop markers in the buy station will now cost $500 fewer per circle. They said less. I corrected it for them because I can read. Circle 1, it'll start at 10,000. Okay, so that was the answer. Because that was our biggest question was like, okay, if they're going to get cheaper as they go, are they still going to start at 10K or are they going to start even more expensive? And it turns out they're going to start at 10K and then just reduce by $500 per circle. And what's funny about this too is that they tell us it reduces by $500 per circle, and then they gave us 7 examples of what the math is on that. So circle 1 is 10,000, circle 2 is 9,500. In case you didn't get it yet, circle 3 is 9,000. In case you still don't see the pattern, circle 4 is 8,500. And they go until circle 7. That speaks to how highly they think of the Call of Duty community and their ability to do the most basic of math. But that is interesting. And again, if I still played Warzone, I would probably have a lot of thoughts on this. I don't care, but is this good for the game? No, definitely not. I mean, in one sense, it's going to be nice because it makes it slightly easier to regain. But here's the thing, in my opinion. Circle 5, for example, pretty fucking late. Pretty late in the game. If you can't get $10,000 for a loadout by Circle 5, you're probably not getting $8,000 either. Usually. I don't think that 2K difference is going to be that big of a deal. And instead, all this is going to do, it seems, is make the economy even better so that even more people can buy even more kill streaks and self-reses, which is a problem we talked about with the Season 5 update, and this is going to just exacerbate that. I don't think this is really going to make it easier to get loadouts. I think it's just going to make them cheaper, because I struggle to think of a scenario where you'll be able to buy a loadout for 8,500, but not for 10K. I just don't think that's true. I think you're still going to be buying the same amount of loadouts per game. But now you'll just have more spare cash to buy yet another precision to fuck my ass with. True. When there's already entirely too many streaks. That's kind of how I feel about this. I think it doesn't, I don't think it's good. We don't need more money. Yeah. And we're going to have it now. What are your thoughts on this?
I agree. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say exactly because I'm not going to play it, so I don't give a shit. But I don't think that was really the biggest issue with Warzone. I remember when they did this poll, we had talked about, because I'd seen like a comment on there I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And it was like, why don't, instead of making this change, just give us the second loadout like a circle earlier? Because at this point, you get second loadout, and it's already so late in the game.
That would be a way better solution.
That would have been a way better solution. To regain, actually, is getting it in like the fourth circle instead of the fifth, instead of just dropping the cost of a loadout. Because, yeah, it's
a great point.
That fifth circle loadout was always pretty hard to get. You didn't often, it was always like a death trap, so.
It was
the circle
very
smaller
often
at that
not
point.
safe,
Yeah, that's like never safe. So that would have been better, but whatever.
That would be better too, because it would accomplish what they want. Because they have a little paragraph here talking about they want more late game regain opportunities. But again, if it's circle 5 and you can't get 10K, you can't get 8K either. And by circle 5, when the second loadie drops, it is, I swear to God, 70% of the time impossible to retrieve on this map with that small of a circle. It's too hard to get it, so you're not getting it. But if they had if they just dropped the second loadie, fourth circle, for example, make it a lot safer by extension, you're still vastly increasing late game regain opportunities without putting a bunch of extra cash in everyone's pockets to spam more streaks with. I think that would be a way better solution, actually, now that you bring that up. But this ain't it, in my opinion. But anyway. Next is ATMs. ATMs will now appear in BR. We love how ATMs have been used in Plunder. We're expanding their availability to BR as an additional choice for players to make when regaining. I don't know what this is. What is an ATM? I mean, I know
you
what
just
it
get
is
money
in real
out
life.
of them. They just give you
Have
money.
you ever used one of these?
No.
I've never even seen them. I forgot about these. You just go up to it and you just get cash from it.
Of course, they're taking more things from Plunder and putting them in BR. Ted Timmons, by the way.
Classic Ted
Creative
Timmons,
director. Yeah. That was one of his late night thoughts. He had one of those nights. He's like, oh shit, that'd be great if we put ATMs in, man. Oh, it gets a lot better.
So what Warzone definitely needed, yet again, this is a problem for literally the exactly same reason as I just said. There's just more money now in Warzone. So, I mean, you can always buy a streak to just spam. It's so cringe. So this is obviously dumb. Gulag tokens and redeploy tokens. Okay. Cool.
Took them out of the game, right?
Well, you would think. Because what's interesting about a redeploy token is that having those in the game, again, puts more money in your pocket because you have to spend less on buying your teammate back. So if you have them in the game, you can spend more money on spamming clusters. So what did they do with these? Doubled the spawn rate of Gulag tokens and redeploy tokens in legendary supply boxes. And also slightly increase the spawn rate in regular supply boxes.
Let's go, dude.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Fucking go, baby.
Oh
my God, I love it, man.
Tanner, if you could pull this up on the stream so Jake can, in fact read it for himself. Yeah, this is in fact true.
Buddy.
So literally all of these... Jake. Literally every change in the gameplay section. By the way, this is exactly as I predicted. I said no matter what happens with Season 5 Reloaded, it's either going to be just as unplayable as Season 5 or even worse. And so far, that is, of course, true. None of this is helping the game. And literally every single gameplay change they've made is just going to equate to more streak spam. That's all it's done. That's it. Yep. That's it. So this is obviously absurd. The tokens shouldn't exist at all. And now they're making even more of them.
Yeah,
so
I can't believe more people... There's not more like backlash around the tokens. I can't believe people like seem to like them or something. I just don't get it, man. I'm trying to find Ted's tweet. Oh, here it is. This is when it all went south.
Oh no.
This is when Teddy was deciding what to do. This is September 19th. Do any other game devs hit 11 p.m. and their mind suddenly goes, creative ideas time?
Oh my God.
That's the reason we got double the amount of tokens. And yeah, here we go. Real creative, Ted. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, buddy.
Shout out to Ted.
Ted was playing Plunder one night, frying, and he's like, oh, it'd be great if we had these ATMs in Warzone.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ted.
Cool. with his head. So anyway, that's that. I mean, it's a disaster, obviously, but whatever. Next section, quality of life. They say some things. QOL updates, recommended weapons. Increased the number of players that will see recommended weapons appear in the gunsmith. Weapons from MW 2019 and Cold War will also show as recommended if they are meta relevant. Okay, so a couple thoughts on this. First of all, just show the recommended weapons to everyone, and then give players an option to hide recommended weapons. Number one. By the way, doesn't this kind of prove there's SBMM?
Yes.
Because
well,
what are the I mean, something
SBMM.
similar.
It means just they obviously know your KD because it's in your stats.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, fair enough. Here's what you should do: ask which of your friends sees recommended weapons and queue with them. Anyway, why not just show everyone the recommended weapons? It's kind of weird that they don't. I don't know. I don't think this is that big of an issue. It probably shows up for everyone that would probably get benefit out of it, but maybe not. I don't know. And just give us an option to hide it, but whatever. That's not that big of a deal. And then second concern is, do we trust Raven to recommend a gameplay impacting decision, such as what weapon to use, when Raven devs do not play the game?
Well, I mean, I think they know enough to like not recommend the Modern Warfare Scar. I think more than anything, this is setting up the game when it's not going to be updated anymore in 2 months, in a month and a half.
Yeah, true.
So people like some random guy, it's like, oh, I never tried Warzone 1 in like 2023, in June of 2023. It's like, oh, I'm going to load up Warzone 1 and try it. And no YouTubers are making videos on the meta guns in Warzone, of course. This will benefit people like that are like new at least. I think it's good for like just setting up the game a little bit for the future.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. So that's probably true. So this was going to be my point, is that in theory, I really like this idea, especially when you have 5,000 assault rifles. If you're like a new frog, you just are going to be totally fucking lost and have no idea what gun to use. And then you're probably going to pick something shit because of course you will. I mean, there's too many guns. How are you going to figure it out? So in theory, I quite like the idea of recommending weapons.
They should just give you recommended builds more than anything.
That's what I was assuming this meant. Do they only recommend a base gun?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, even that's a lot worse. Yeah, I like recommended builds. Assuming that they can recommend decent builds, then this would be actually a really good idea for new players, because they need something like that. If you're some casual who's not going to go look at JGod gun setup videos every week when there's a patch,
yeah,
then you're just going to be like totally lost. So in theory, I like the idea, provided they recommend good guns. And even though they don't play the game, they definitely have statistics on which guns perform best in Warzone. So if they based it on that alone, then they would be hitting the correct guns. So I think this is cool. I think it's a cool idea. I don't know how it's implemented. I don't see recommended weapons, although perhaps I should. But yeah, so it's a neat idea. So anyway, moving on. Golden keycard bunkers will now have a yellow circle highlighted on the TAC map. I thought they already did.
It'd show the bunkers, but it wouldn't show like which ones are keycard bunkers, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it would. It would have the yellow circle. I think this means on your mini map as well. Oh no, they took them out and they re-added them. That's what they say here.
Yeah.
Okay, we have re-added these circles to the TAC map. Okay, why would they ever take them out? That's weird. But anyway, that's good.
Yeah, there it was last time I played, yeah.
This is interesting. Manual gas mask. Improved manual gas mask text in the settings menu to better detail how players manually equip the gas mask. That was needed. I literally had to look up how to do it.
Yeah.
Move the gas mask to be the first entry in the quick inventory for easier manual equipping. That's a good change as well.
Yeah, that
definitely
only
just give me a
benefits like
keybind.
controller players. Yeah, because it's just
Yeah.
then they pull up your inventory if you're on controller, and it's
just
already going to
press
be
3
highlighted
buttons,
now.
yeah.
So that's good for you. Yeah.
So they do like square real quick and they're done. Yeah. So that's cool. That's good. This is a good change. Give me a keybind on KBAM, but this is a good change. And then supply box Waves will no longer show red Rebirth boxes. Don't care. Good though. I mean, good change, but don't care. Perks, ground loot perks. Text will be displayed. Holy shit! On the UI when a perk is acquired via ground loot. Oh wait,
It's not going to stay there. It's just going to show it for a second.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, settle down.
Got it. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, so this doesn't matter at all. Yeah. Well, it barely matters. It's slightly better.
Yeah, it didn't tell you all before.
Yeah, there were times when I would just pick up a perk and like I didn't bother reading it. I just saw a perk, picked it up, and I was like, I don't know what I have.
Yeah,
so
then you get like a high alert
good?
ping, and you're like, oh, I guess it was high alert.
Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of good, but I mean, do more. But whatever.
Show it always, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. No fucking way. Perk adjustments. Scavenger. So the scavenger perk. If you're running scavenger in Warzone, scavenger pouches will now drop a guaranteed $1,000 on enemy elimination. So no one's going to run scavenger, obviously, but when you loot scavenger from ground loot, you're now even going to have more money to spam more kill streaks. Very cool, man. Very
Hoggers
cool.
on my hoggers, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Field upgrade, add adjustments, portable decontamination station. The duration is 20 seconds up from 13. Okay. And that is that.
Today's episode is sponsored by True Classic. Guys, let's talk about your t-shirts. Finding that perfect fitting shirt can be terrible. It's either too tight, has a case of bacon neck, or is just plain big, ugly, and boxy. Luckily, True Classic wants to make every man look good and feel good. Tighter fit in the chest and sleeves to make your arms pop, and room in the torso to keep everything comfy. Telling you guys, all of their styles really soft, and they're a great price for what you are getting. There's no excuses. Get rid of those ratty, disgusting t-shirts I know you've been hanging on to for years. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Get rid of it. Get ready to upgrade to True Classic. We have an exclusive deal for our listeners. We want to hook you up with some True Classic. For a limited time, get 25% off with the code DROPSHOT at trueclassic.com. Almost all men's shirts are designed to look good on a certain body type. Think skinny models with six-packs. But most of us aren't packing anything but a few beers, and there's nothing wrong with that. Guys, it's simple. You're wearing the wrong clothes. True Classic tees taper off towards the bottom, but they fit nice and tight around the chest and shoulders. You can throw on True Classic with confidence, knowing we've got your bases covered. They're more than just a t-shirt company. True Classic has menswear staples you need. They've got polos, workout shirts with that same flattering fit, and boxer briefs designed to keep your boys feeling really comfortable. They make it super easy to build your wardrobe, and you'll get top-notch quality for a great value. They have this pack builder on their website. You can custom bundle all of their essential products and save even more than the discount we're offering today. Build yourself a bundle, guys. And for any of the big boys out there, they have long body options for the tall guys and up to XXL on their staple color collection. True Classic will make you feel your best by accentuating the places the eye goes to first. Wink, wink. Whether you have abs or flabs, their clothes look great on all body types. Skinny dudes, big dudes, buff dudes. You guys, True Classic has you covered. Get comfortable, get going, and upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with code DROPSHOT. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day return policy. True Classic, when you look good, you feel good.
Other than that, we got a couple things related to weapons. So, ground loot and gulag loadouts are refreshed. Leaning into the history of Warzone, you'll find some of the greatest hits from MW, Cold War, and Vanguard in ground loot. We've significantly increased the variance on offer from what was previously on offer in order to make the early game feel more dynamic each drop. Okay. Yeah, I saw an FFAR today as ground loot. I saw
A lot of Modern Warfare ground loot right now.
Yeah, and then I also saw the new shit, obviously. So New weapons: the BP-50 assault rifle, so Vanguard AR, full auto bullpup, AR, high fire rate, deadly and accurate at long range. Okay.
It's the F2000. By the way, for those of you wondering, is the F2000.
It's like an FFAR, isn't it?
It's the F2000 AR from MW2. Other CODs, I think, have had the F2000.
Isn't it the same, like, isn't it based on the same real gun as an FFAR?
I don't think so. I mean, they're both like,
no
FFAR is a FAMAS.
Oh, okay.
But no, this is a F2000, different.
Got it.
But it's dog shit.
Okay.
In this game.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the Liena 57 LMG. Compact LMG capable of high accuracy during sustained fire at short to medium ranges. Cool. So it's an LMG with bad range. I mean, that sounds terrible, but
yeah,
maybe it'll be good.
I haven't seen that at all.
I doubt it, but
cool.
Yeah. So I have nothing to add here, so I don't care. I will say I'm glad they didn't add any SMGs because it wouldn't have felt any different than any other SMG. So for those of you still playing.
Yeah.
And then there were some weapon balance changes. I'm not talking about any of them. I don't care. I don't know, and I don't care. I don't know what guns are good, and I don't care.
Oh, wait a second. The
Uninstall
Street
Warzone.
Sweeper and the Gallo got buffed, so I may have to hop back in.
Ooh, really? Really?
Yeah.
So we'll touch on like the biggest things here. So what was meta? Automaton got nerfed.
EGM.
The let's see, what else do we have here? The
EM2
Arma
got
nerfed.
buffed.
The EM2 got buffed. Interesting. The Piss Boy, Vanguard Piss Boy got nerfed. The Ugam got nerfed. And the Gorenko got nerfed. And that's most of the relevant shit. So
Yeah.
cool. Other than that, yeah, I have no issues or nothing I'd really want to talk about here. And then there are some bug fixes as well. But anything to add? You haven't seen any Warzone gameplay yet, right?
I've seen a little bit here and there.
What are people using? I was watching
I don't
Symphony.
know. All
His
sorts of
loadout setup was an Extreme M4 from Black Ops Cold War, and I forget a secondary.
A gun.
But maybe try out the XM4 again.
I think they did try to nerf the 3-6 a little bit. Scope magnification transition time increased to 250, up from 120. So basically, when you switch between zooms, 3-6, that's slower now. And then visual recoil increased by 15% on that. That sounds like a lot. I watched a side-by-side. It's not that noticeable. It's still the meta long-range optic by far. So shocking.
Got it.
Because the gun's done at recoil.
Yes, correct.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep, that is pretty much it. Fixed an issue causing various elements of Gulag audio to not be present. So maybe you can hear things in the Gulag now. And there's a couple other bug fixes. So overall, I'll say this. I didn't care what they did with Season 5 Reloaded. It wouldn't have been possible for me to want to play Warzone 1. No matter what they did with Season 5 Reloaded. With that said, I am still quite surprised at how nothing this is. I mean, they didn't do anything. They added some new guns. They added calling cards. They made some slight changes around the edges to the game. And then they did some weapon tweaks. And that is it. And that's the last big content drop for Warzone 1.
There may be some other surprise coming towards the end, but I mean,
probably
when it came to the playlist update, they did say something in one of those little sections of the playlist update that said, "Stay tuned for like a couple surprises in the next few weeks." But that may literally just be it's in the playlist section, so it's probably they're doing. Oh, you know what? A lot of people were thinking is maybe there's going to be a Warzone 1 Halloween event.
Oh, okay.
Like
well, I feel like there's
event.
also going to be some kind of LTM. There's definitely going to be like a Goodbye Verdansk LTM or Goodbye Caldera LTM or like a Hello Al Mazrah LTM.
Yeah,
100%.
Because the difference was Verdansk was leaving. Caldera's not leaving.
True.
So I don't know. But
I
we
still
have the
think
other
they're
two
gonna do
maps
something like that, though.
we'll get into in a second here. But yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, it's you know, I don't know. It just feels kind of lacking. It doesn't bother me, but I don't know. If you were a Warzone player, I would have maybe expected a bit more. But also, I don't know what else they would have done.
If you're
honestly.
a Warzone player still playing it, then I don't think you were expecting much, actually.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Because what else could they have done, really, that would have made sense? Not much, huh?
No.
So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. It just feels weird that this is the last big patch of Warzone 1 for all time. And it's kind of like, okay. Not much.
Yeah.
I don't know. But whatever. Anyway, that's it. Moving on to news and upcoming changes.
Yes, sir. So first up here, we have a blog post from Infinity Ward, a short little thank you blog post. The beta ended on Monday? The beta ended on Monday.
Yes.
So they put out a little thank you blog post thing where they touch on a few hot topics. So they said, blah, blah, thank you. As we head into launch, we're going to be making some adjustments based on learnings from the beta. No, you're not. One of the most important parts of the beta is having you, the players, find new bugs and issues for us. Thank you. I'm glad I can find your bugs for you. We are grateful to the community for coming together and help fine-tune this game, blah, blah. The beta was not buggy, by the way.
It really wasn't.
Not buggy at all.
Yeah.
Here are a few things that we want to highlight. Well, sentiment around footstep audio was more positive in Weekend 2. We have seen your continued feedback on the volume of footsteps and will continue to balance enemy/friendly footstep audio ahead of launch. It's good to hear. 2, enemy... What's that?
I wish they would say what that means.
Lower it.
Probably, right?
Absolutely. Every time they talk about footstep audio, it's lowering it because the average person wants them quieter.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So this next sentence here, this is the hot topic. So enemy visibility is something that came up throughout both weekends of our beta. Well, many of you remarked on the improvement in Weekend 2. True. We'll look to tweak increased enemy visibility to allow for better visual tracking of opponents that is not solely the traditional nameplate. When you hear the nameplate thing described in that way, what does that make you think? Because like Charlie Intel and everyone is retweeting this, taking a screenshot of that section, and they're like, cool. Everyone's asking for enemy nameplates, and they're just straight up not doing it. So I must not be understanding, because I'm the only person that's thought this. I thought this, the way this is worded, is not solely the traditional nameplate, that we may get nameplates, but also they're looking into other things. What do you think?
I got the impression Charlie did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We want to tweak the visibility without relying solely on the... Yeah, I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying, though. Because, like, not solely the traditional nameplate could mean they're going to give us a traditional nameplate and then also other things. But I think what they mean is they want to do something other than the traditional nameplate.
Interesting.
And which, by the way... They're never doing a traditional nameplate. There's no chance. Even if they had said that, I wouldn't believe it. But yeah, I don't think that's what they mean. And then the interesting question is, what do they mean? But no matter what, I like this, because if they try to make it easier to see people, even Infinity Ward isn't going to accidentally make it harder to see people when they're trying to make it easier to see people. So I'm very glad that this is even an issue and something that they are talking about. Because to me, it seems like the worst case scenario is that they just don't do anything and just go back on their word. But if they attempt any change, it'll probably make people easier to see. But I don't think it's going to be a nameplate.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's, again, one of those things that out of everything people complain about, a lot of complaints about how bad the visibility was, I thought it was a lot better in general from what we played than MW 2019. It absolutely could use visibility improvements, but
better than 19. I agree with you.
Better than like Warzone, better than Verdansk for sure. So
at least so far for me in the beta, the visibility was way fucking better than MW 19. The more you play, the more you would notice like where people can go and just not be seen. Sure, but I think in general, it's already better than MW 19, probably. And if they're going to further improve it, I'm very fucking happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, Rust existed. and that was this tiny map, and you could hardly see people in the opposite corner of you.
Exactly. And again, especially because of what this will mean for Warzone 2, which is where I really care about seeing enemy players who are on my screen.
Exactly.
So I'm very pleased with that. Yeah, that's really good to hear.
Next up here, disbanding lobbies are another topic we addressed during the beta. We feel this is an important feature, and we're actively looking for potential solutions for launch. Okay. Yeah, they said in weekend 2 is more likely to give you the same lobbies again. I don't remember ever getting that, though. I feel like completely disbanded every time, and I got put with none of the same people again.
It's also so annoying that they say they are looking for potential solutions for launch.
Uh-huh.
You guys have done it for 20 years. It's not like you don't have the solution. Keep the lobby together. I know we all know you can do that. So why are you saying you're looking for solutions like that might not be possible? Huh? Why are you saying that?
Exactly.
Like, why are they implying that that's just not an option? That's something they can't do.
Yep.
Obviously, it's because they don't want to do that, and they refuse to do that. And they're trying to, be deceitful here, which pisses me off. But I don't care that much about disbanding lobbies, honestly. I would care a lot more about map voting, which would tie into lobbies not disbanding, typically.
And Cold War had that.
Yes. You could have disbanding lobbies and still have map voting. Kind of, but it works a lot better if they don't disband. But I don't think that's coming up, because I feel like they would have said that by now. And I just don't think we're getting that. But like disbanding lobbies, I don't know. It's like, if the lobbies are never going to disband, I would really like that. But if they're just going to like disband less often, I don't think that's going to be a meaningful
it's not always
change
exactly.
at all.
Yep.
Because the reason we liked lobbies not disbanding is, there were times in BO4 we would be in a lobby with the same people, and then stragglers coming in and out every game or whatever. But like the same core group of people for actually like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what we mean. And even if lobbies are going to disband less often, that's never happening.
No.
It's going to be like people will stay together for like 4 games,
2
max,
games.
maybe. Yeah, exactly. Like 2 or 3 more likely. So, and at that point, I don't care. You might as well disband every lobby, because that's not what we want. Like, it's not an improvement. So I don't care about this unless they're going to actually full send,
Yeah. It'd be great, but again, it was kind of one of those things I wasn't expecting, or I didn't expect to see. Like going into MDO 2019, people were mad, and that was annoying. But now that that's happened, same thing with like the mini-map issue. I would love red dots in the mini-map, but I didn't exactly expect it or care that much, because now we've played a game without it, and it doesn't bother me that much, so whatever. In terms of weapons, we're happy with the results of weapon tuning changes we made for weekend 2 of the beta. What weapon tuning changes did they even make?
I don't remember.
It was like some minor shit. We have more changes to come given weapon performance in the beta, and we're very excited for everyone to get their hands on all the weapons. We were excited to see so much interest in the third-person playlist. We have heard feedback on the camera shoulder swapping, and will continue to make refinements to this mode for launch. More to come.
What does that mean? Going from right shoulder to left shoulder?
Yeah. Which I never did.
Anyone's
so I don't
concerned?
Know. I don't know. I also never saw anyone complain about zooming into first person, and that's like my biggest gripe with the playtest is I want to zoom in third person also, and I never saw anyone say that at all. So that won't come ever, unfortunately.
Yeah, but again, I just don't care. Yeah.
Ground War and Invasion also got a lot of love in the beta. We have many bugs to work through in both our battle map modes. You sure do. We also have improvements coming for AI navigation for Invasion. Yeah, there were videos out there of like AI just like sitting all back in spawn, like standing there trying to shoot at people, like not moving. It's pretty funny. Standing man. And that's it. So cool. And then look forward for further updates from Team Ricochet and what is being done to combat cheating in the coming weeks.
Oh yeah, there have been quite a few cheaters in MW2, by the way.
It's because Ricochet wasn't live yet. Ricochet didn't go live until like the second to last day of the beta.
Oh, okay.
So
I see. Yeah. I saw a TikTok of some guy like walling.
and again, I wonder why
in
that
the
is. I
beta.
wonder if they do that so they let people hack the fuck out of the game the first few days, and then they see what the hacks are, and then they can more easily put Ricochet into effect and like block those cheats or something, or like auto ban those type of people. I'm kind of wondering if that's why they do it or how they do it.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I never encountered any cheaters, at least that I
I
noticed.
never saw any, but I saw numerous clips of like obvious aimbotters and stuff.
Yeah.
But cool.
I just feel like the incentive to cheat in a beta is so low, even for cheaters, that most of them who could were probably, well, if you have the software, I don't know, you probably have to download something else, right? I don't know how it works, but whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's pretty much all the beta talk. So this next thing here, this is back again to Warzone 1. This is from Charlie Intel. This is from rumor from the Ghost of Hope. Charlie Intel tweeted about it, though, so I believe it. New rumor claims that Rebirth and Fortune's Keep will be removed from Warzone once Warzone 2 launches. This will leave just Caldera playable in the original Warzone and the new AI Al Mazrah for Warzone 2. Not officially confirmed. So Tom did leak, I believe it was Tom, that said
Thomas
that
Henderson?
once Warzone 2 comes out, Warzone 1 is supposedly going to be called Warzone Caldera. So that would definitely line up with not having Rebirth and Keep. And again, I said this a long time ago, fucking get them out of the game so these Rebirth tardos, as I like to call them, stop playing that and play literally anything else. Play a different video game. So I think that's kind of what will happen, is they're going to remove it. So people are forced to play Warzone 2, and then if Warzone 2 has a shit ton of backlash and people despise it, maybe they'll add Rebirth back in 3 months later or something. But I like this a lot because some of these Rebirth kids actually just wouldn't have left Rebirth. They would just stay on it. They would play one match of Warzone 2 and hate it, and then go back to Rebirth and continue to make shitty TikToks on it. So I love that they're gone. Get them the fuck out of the game.
You're so rude, man.
Cool. Make people play the new game and at least try it.
Yeah. So the reason they would do this would almost certainly be server costs. You'd have to pay a lot less if you aren't having those modes. And they also, here's another reason they're probably doing it. There's going to be a precipitous drop in Warzone 1 players throughout all of its playlists, obviously. These people are going to be playing Warzone 2. So they probably are thinking, I don't even know if we're going to have enough people to be running 3 maps. So we're just going to have 1. And then this way, too, if there's only Caldera, they could just be like, all right, you can play Caldera 1, 2, 3s, and 4s. That's it. So we don't have to like update the playlist constantly anymore. I think for those reasons, that's why they want to do this. It does kind of suck for Rebirth players and shit. And it is very weird that they designed Fortune's Keep, a whole ass map with its own unique features, to get rid of them like inside of a year.
Yeah,
it's very bizarre.
That's true. By the time Fortune's Keep is gone, that'll have only probably been,
I think, not
8
even
months
a year.
at the most. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely not a year. No, I mean,
Yeah,
Caldera won't even have been out for a year. So 7 or 8 months or something.
it's very weird.
And it probably took them over a year to design the map. So I don't know. Yeah, that is a little odd to me. Maybe we'll see him in Warzone 2 at some point.
Yeah, so I mean, I believe it because it would definitely save Activision money. I don't know why. I don't know if it would be server costs or maintenance or whatever, but if you don't have 2 maps being played, you're saving money in some way. So that's probably one of the big reasons why they want to do it. So that makes this believable to me. But then the question is, we're definitely getting a small map in Warzone 2. I wonder if this implies, if true, that we're going to get a small map on Warzone 2 sooner than we thought we would.
No.
So that they can service that market. You don't think so?
No, I don't think we'll see a small map in Warzone 2 for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm thinking we don't get a second map in Warzone 2 until like the end of 2023. So
I don't know about that long. I was thinking like mid.
I mean, when did we get Rebirth?
23? I don't remember. I have no idea.
I don't remember when Rebirth launched either.
Good question.
Didn't really play it on launch.
Either way, yeah, F's in the chat for Rebirth players, I guess, but I believe it. So
Yeah, cool.
Whatever.
So next up here, this is something we talked about in depth on a Patreon episode that's releasing tomorrow. So we'll touch on it here, but if you want to hear a lot more, join the Patreon and go listen to that, because we don't want to say all the same things again.
Patreon.com/Dropshot.
So basically, Metaphor, who is a K-BAM streamer, Warzone gamer, he's really good, has sent out some tweets in the past. Before Call of Duty Next, he fired off some tweets saying things like, there's no loadouts, there's AI on the map, there's no perks, said some other shit. He was right about all of it. A week before Call of Duty Next, he got that info. So he's tweeted out some little cryptic messages about a Warzone 2 update. He sends out the messages in emojis. I'm not going to explain it. You can go to his Twitter and look at it. But basically, his little emojis have meanings to them. And what these things translate to, and he confirmed to someone that responded and answered, are some changes that we're going to see in Warzone 2 based on negative COD Next feedback. The first one being, there will be no AI on the map, but AI will still be in strongholds. So at Call of Duty Next, there was AI outside of the map. They would be in different buildings and shit, not just in the strongholds. So now they are supposedly only going to be in strongholds. Second thing is loadout and perks are coming back. We don't know the capacity of how these are coming back. Will there be free loadout drops? We don't know. Will loadout drops cost $40,000 and only one teammate can use it? We don't know. But loadout and perks are coming back. Infinity Ward has stated on record in a blog post in the last few weeks that perks will not be available in Warzone at launch. This was around Call of Duty Next, though. So
Right.
these changes may not be in at launch, or they may be now because they saw the feedback based on COD Next and how people did not like this change at all, and they're going to implement them. And the last thing here is they're going back to the old looting system that we have in Warzone 1. So in Warzone 2 right now, there's ground loot, but then there's also like chests, and when you open those chests, it pops up another menu that shows what's in there. Supposedly, they are reverting this, and they're going back to the system Warzone 1 has. You open a chest, it all flings out, and it's on the ground. A lot easier to pick it up. You don't have to go through a menu. Just grab your shit real quick. It's all right there. Easy to see. So yeah, that's the changes we are getting. And basically, Metaphor is trustworthy. He's not a leaker. We don't know who's feeding him this information. Someone is giving him the shit, though, and he's been right about the last 2 or 3 things he said before Call of Duty Next came out. Spot on everything he leaked in the same these little cryptic messages again. Every single thing was absolutely spot on, correct? So I 100% believe him. Even Tom Henderson retweeted this, and he was like, I haven't heard any of this yet, but, this is kind of lining up and making sense.
Yeah. So as Tanner said, we did a Patreon episode on this that will be going live on the 30th, where we talked a lot about only this. And there's obviously a lot here and a lot to say about this. So we're not going to rehash all of that. But to sum up our thoughts, essentially, this is all good. I mean, no AI on the map is obviously good. I went on a tirade about how dumb it would be to lose to a bot because you get unlucky when you're in fighting for first place and a bot is behind you and not the other guy, and you have to waste ammo on him or something. So this is obviously good, and having them only in strongholds is great. If you have AI at all, at least keep them in designated marked areas so I can avoid them if I want to. And there are a bunch of other implications of this. Servers will probably perform better. Your computer will probably run better. You'll probably get more frames, etc. So that's obviously good. The old looting, again, obviously good. I would lose my mind if I was opening a chest, early game, looting, started getting shot, and I have to like press escape like an asshole before I can like look around. It'd be a lot easier if that shit was just on the ground, so as soon as I start getting shot, I don't have to press escape or B or circle, and then I can just turn around and like start shooting. So, and there are other reasons why this old looting system is just better. So that's a very good change too. And then that leaves the biggest leak, which again, I believe all of this. The loadouts and perks are going to be in Warzone 2. This is where we have a lot of questions. So number one is the loadout question. if a custom gun in Warzone 2 costs 15,000, which is like what it did cost, how much do you charge for a loadout? You'd have to charge way more than that, right? Literally 30, 40K for it to make sense to ever buy a custom gun. A loadout would have to be cost in line with that, and you're getting so much more, it'd have to cost way more. And then also, can everyone hit a loadout if I buy one? Because I can buy either one gun for myself for 15K or 8 guns for my entire team for 40. That's still a giant bargain. Doesn't really make sense. So how the fuck is that going to work? We don't know. And then also perks. There are bonus perks and ultimate perks in MW2 multiplayer that are time gated. How are they going to time gate perks in Warzone 2? We don't know. So we did a lot of speculating and talked about the possibilities, the implications of those things on Patreon. So you can check that out if you want. But it is interesting. And all in all, I'm very pleased with all of this. Because pretty much no matter how they implement loadouts and perks, I would rather have loadouts, probably, almost certainly, than only being able to buy a specific gun. I think that's good. And then the other 3 changes are just, of course, good. Like, unambiguously good. No AI on the map, good. AI's only in strongholds, good. Old looting system, good. There's no chance those aren't good. The only thing that's maybe not good is the loadouts and perks, depending on their implementation. But still almost certainly going to be better than the COD Next experience. So I'm very happy with these leaks. And then the only question is this going to be at launch, or is it going to be like Season 1, like Tanner was saying? We don't know that either.
Well, see, isn't Season 1 supposed to launch the day Warzone launches?
Oh, maybe.
That's what they were saying, so I don't know how that's going to line up, though.
That wasn't how MW19 worked.
I know, but this has been, what was it? I don't remember.
But maybe that is how
this works.
In that case, I meant Season 2, yeah.
Yeah, in that case, you're looking at 2023, so we'll certainly see. None of these changes sound like it's anything major, though, really. These all sound like changes, not a dev, but these sound like changes that they can make inside of a couple weeks, honestly.
Especially because they already have loadout drops coded in. We saw
and they already have the old looting. And they already have the AI on the map, so all they have to do is have them only be in strongholds.
Right.
So exactly, it all sounds like the most simple thing. And he also said that changes are coming to the Gulag. Didn't state any specifics whatsoever what that means, but changes are coming to the Gulag. Hopefully that means going back to a 1v1. Hopefully that means no AI. Hopefully that means no keys. Hopefully that means the Gulag's gone forever. But
yeah. And here's the thing about the Warzone 2 Gulag in its current state. Almost no matter what you do to it, it'll improve it. You could make a random change to the abysmal Warzone 2 Gulag and it'll probably make it better. You can't really make it worse. So if they're changing it in any way, it's probably good.
Agreed.
Unless they're making it 4v4 or something. I don't know. But yeah, it'll probably be good. So that's good too. But I don't care that much about that. Don't die.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Moving on here. So I don't know who this guy is. I saw it on Twitter. He has an amount of followers. I think he works with like the Ghost of Hope, who is a Call of Duty leaker. His name is Modenas HD. Hotel 6 is what his Twitter name. I don't know. So he says, take note of this information before Modern Warfare 2 drops. Don't know how he knows it. Don't know any of this. So he said COD points transfer to Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, meaning I have 29,000 Call of Duty points because that's purchased with real money, and that will transfer over to Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. However,
yours aren't.
He said double weapon XP tokens and Battle Pass tokens will not transfer to Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone 2, which I don't believe and don't understand if that's the case. So Modern Warfare 2018, the tokens transfer to Cold War and they transfer to Vanguard. So why would they not be transferring now? I guess when you think about it, I can understand it not transferring to Warzone somehow because the way they're doing it, new launcher, new client or something. I guess I can understand that maybe. But how would they not even transfer to the multiplayer? I don't understand that at all. And it sucks because I have like 80 total hours of weapon XP and battle pass XP that I haven't used that I would love to use on the launch of the game. So I don't know if I believe this. This doesn't really make sense to me because we haven't seen this before. We've always gotten them transferred over the last 3 years.
That's true, but I could definitely see them doing this because for the exact reason you mentioned. Everyone has 200 hours of double weapon XP tokens. And they definitely know that. And they might be thinking, I don't want to trivialize leveling up guns in our like flagship new game. And this is their big next release. You know, it's the Infinity Ward title. And they don't want to trivialize leveling, so they're like, we're going to make you get new tokens. Because all of you have too many stockpiled now. I could see them doing it. I could also see them transferring them ultimately as well. I don't really give a shit either way. But another thing too is like they might be getting pressure from like Doritos and Totinos and shit. Because if everyone has 500 billion years of double XP tokens, and Doritos is like, hey man, no one's buying our Doritos with the double XP codes on them because everyone has fucking double XP enough already. So we need you guys to not let them transfer over so we can sell more Doritos and pizza rolls and Mountain Dew or whatever the fuck. That could be part of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely going to be forced to buy some Mountain Dew and Doritos to get some double XP if that's the case. I don't want to, and I wouldn't have to otherwise, but we'll certainly see.
Yeah. I just don't know if those brands would like be aware of that. Like, I don't know if Doritos marketing lead is aware that there are too many double XP tokens floating around so that they need to not transfer them. Yeah, I don't know if
I feel like they would know. I mean, Doritos devs probably play more Warzone than Warzone devs. So.
That's true. Yeah, that's probably true.
I mean, yeah. Cool, man. Dope.
But I don't know. But by the way, I don't really care. If COD points didn't transfer, that would be super scummy. That would be really bad. So those transferring is good.
Illegal, it seems.
Yeah, that would be not great. But the XP tokens, for me, for you, and for anyone listening to this podcast, we obviously play Call of Duty enough. I don't really give a shit. I'm getting everything max leveled pretty quick regardless. It does kind of suck though, because I have a ton also of tokens, but I'll be fine. It'll be okay.
I guess if everyone's on the same level playing field and no one has a bunch of XP, then that's probably more fair anyways.
This also makes the double XP weekends more attractive too.
True, which haven't mattered for a long time actually, because of that reason.
Yeah. So I could see them doing this. I think there are a lot of good reasons why they would want to.
Yeah, overall, I guess it's fine. I would just wanted it because I have so many.
Yeah, for sure.
Good for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, next up here, briefly, I want to mention this. I don't really know anything about it. I don't care enough. But there has been some discourse on the TL with, I guess, Censor? Douglas Censor Martin?
Douglas Censor Martin. Wash CDL player, yeah.
I barely know any details about this, so if I get some details wrong, stay mad. He supposedly knows some MIT undergrad who wrote a script to detect cheaters in Call of Duty. And then Censor did like a 6-hour stream under the guise of exposing Call of Duty cheaters. And then he only exposed Vanguard ranked play playlist players who were cheating.
And he exposed like one instead of he said he had a list of a bunch of them or something.
Yeah, and I guess people on the timeline were expecting him to go after people literally anyone cared about, namely streamers who play Warzone, and he didn't do that. Maybe he misled people into thinking that's what he was going to do, and then he didn't. And now people are saying like, oh, what a good scam he did, because he made like
it's funny.
He made an announcement that he's going to like expose cheaters in Call of Duty, and then he got like 600 subs, and then he didn't expose anyone that matters anyway.
And then he kept talking about Nadia, who's the hot topic when it comes to Warzone cheaters, 'cause everyone thinks she cheats. So he started throwing her name out there to get publicity, and it worked. So one of his, before he went live for one of his streams, he like tweeted out something like going over like the Vanguard ranked play like cheaters right now. We're about to start, and we're also going to talk about like the Nadia DMs or something. So of course everybody clicks on it. But there's been all these funny memes. I just saw one a little while ago when I went to the bathroom, and it says, it's September 2022. You just entered Censor's Twitch stream to see who's been exposed for hacking. Without warning, you're hit with 1 out of 9 ads. You reluctantly use your Amazon Prime sub to see even the slightest rumor of Nadia hacking is true. Then, and it's a clip of Doug with no shirt on, dancing in his room and then doing a push-up.
Oh no.
So he's just scammed everyone.
That's fantastic.
And then during yesterday's stream, he kept claiming the thing wasn't working and he couldn't expose anyone or something. But basically it was something like, it was a like some sort of, I don't know how it works. I don't know if they like, it sounds like illegal, honestly, what they do. But it's something like if you injected any sort of cheat between this time frame in Vanguard specifically on that cheating website, he has your name and will expose you. But so far this is day 3 now, and he's exposed one person.
So he actually just data mined personal details of people who visited engineowning.com.
I don't know what the website was.
Or whatever the website was, yeah. That sounds wildly illegal.
Right?
Yeah.
If you have any sort of
That's
list,
literally hacking.
That's what I'm saying.
Hacking.
And I haven't seen anyone mention that. And I'm like, dude, this guy better watch out, because this sounds like he could get in trouble for this. But anyways,
now,
he's been scamming
we're not
the
sure,
TL.
but yeah, that is super illegal if that's what actually happened. Yeah. That's not smart.
And what L is one of their little CDL followers. They did a podcast the night before, which was the Flanked podcast, or the Flank, and they said they had some software to check. Supposedly, the cheating company upped their security that same day, so that the next day the software didn't work. That's what they're going with. Got it.
Yeah. So, do you think it was all a ruse to begin with? Was he
It's
one
possible
of the people that did the crypto rug pulls?
No, he definitely craves attention. I don't know a whole lot about the guy.
Yeah.
No, he's an odd dude. I've been following his name for years. Back when I used to kind of care about that type of competitive COD, so I've known about this guy for forever. But just always strikes me as that guy that loves being in the spotlight and loves attention. So I don't know. I think all of it's for this. And he hasn't been, he was the #1 ranked Vanguard player last year, but he hasn't been able to get on a good CDL team for 3 or 4 years. Every single year he tweets out, "This is my year." No, in the Vanguard ranked play.
Pubs.
In pubs. Because he's I don't think good enough to be in a CDL team. I'm not sure. I'm not either. But I think he's just past his prime, but doesn't want to give up. He's not a quitter, so good for him. The guy tries really hard for sure. But he seems to be someone that craves the attention. So I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it if that definitely plays into all of this.
Interesting.
Lot. Anyone doing push-ups and pull-ups on stream with no shirt off in front of thousands of people is definitely some sort of attention-seeking individual. So
yeah.
But anyways,
well. It's fine. He's got a great body, so.
Oh fuck, he's a handsome-looking kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very handsome.
Yeah. Kind of looks like Gabe if Gabe would shave and also gained like 80 pounds of muscle.
If Gabe would get up off his couch, yeah.
Yeah. But
cool.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I don't know anything about it other than just like a couple little sporadic tweets I've seen. We could have gotten a lot of details wrong. I don't know. But there is a lot of controversy, it seems. And supposedly the saga's not over yet.
No.
He said he's going to expose Warzone players next. And the software is going to work for Warzone. And by the way, that doesn't make sense either. If what Tanner said is true. Because if you're like injecting software into a cheat website and pulling a list of all the Vanguard cheaters, you would literally just do the exact same thing, except you would look at who bought Warzone cheats instead of Vanguard cheats.
I'm not sure how that. I don't even know if it's engine owning. he's never said the name of the
or
website.
whatever the website is. Yeah, whatever the website is still, regardless.
But I'm saying,
by the
like,
way, if it's not engine owning, you're going to miss
exactly
95%
and he
of the
was
cheaters anyway.
Well, I don't know if he was clear, but I saw a lot of people saying that. They're like, okay, like, even if this does find cheaters and other people aren't on that list, that doesn't clear their name at all, because this is supposedly one website. And especially if it's not engine owning seems to be probably 80%, 90% of the cheaters in the video game. I don't know about Vanguard, but for Warzone, it seems like engine owning is the one everyone uses.
Yeah, it seems to be.
But cool. So if it's anything else, I don't care.
That's the only website I know of that does cheats for COD, and you also implies it's the most popular.
I literally do not know another website. It's actually just engine owning.
I only know engine owning, yeah. So it's probably the most used. And so anyway, on this story, if it gets funnier and juicier, we'll talk about it again. But if it doesn't, which it probably won't, then I don't know. It's not a big deal. I just thought it was a funny story. But speaking of engine owning, we got more.
Yeah. One more thing of drama, though, that I didn't write in here that El reminded me of.
Okay.
There's some more Warzone wager drama going on right now.
Oh boy.
Tommy, who's the one who called out someone for cheating that one time, inspected his PC, ruined the guy's career, and ended up he was never cheating, and now the guy has never been able to make a name for himself. He ruined that guy's career.
Shout out to
Tommy has basically
by the way.
proved somehow, or a group of people have, that a bunch of the wagers throughout all of Warzone have been rigged. And it's like certain kids have been stream sniping. So they've been like betting money on wagers or something, and then they go and stream snipe someone else. I think that's how it works. And
Whoever
ruin
they bet on and then just throw
exactly. So they're basically throwing and they're winning money that way. So that's going around the Warzone scene. It's like kids you've never heard of. I don't know any of them. They're like wager kids, like 1,000 followers on Twitter. They're not big. They probably dropped out of high school. And they're making like $40 a month or something doing wagers. So they've been doing the scummy shit for a while. I really don't care that much about it, because don't play for real money in public lobbies in Call of Duty. That is what you get for doing that. For streaming yourself playing wagers for money with no delay in Call of Duty on public servers. I would love for you to get ripped off. You deserve it if you're that dumb. And fuck you.
And by the way, yeah, I agree. And also, of course that was happening and still is happening with wagers.
Yep.
It's so easy. Like, all right, Jake and Bandit or whatever are doing a duos tournament. If I cared enough, this is what I would do. Okay, cool. I'm going to watch their stream. I'm going to bet $100 on them.
Yep.
And then I'm going to just stream snipe them and then just go let them kill me. Of course that was happening. Duh. Why is this even a story? Like, I literally don't understand why this is a story, because obviously that was happening. Of course that was happening. Like, I thought that was just common knowledge, like that people would do that because it's so easy to do. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course people were betting like that. I don't know. That's weird. Maybe it's just in that scene, the people he's exposing in particular are of some interest. That would make it worthy of being a story. But we're not in the scene. We have no idea who these people are.
Yeah, exactly. So like he had said, found even more evidence that solidifies it. But for over the last year, there's been a group of people betting on games and stream sniping / hacking at the same time and dictating who wins what games. It's been over thousands and thousands of dollars. Duh. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Not shocking.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of like 19-year-old kids who playing wagers as their job. Of course they want to make more money.
Not that we condone that behavior,
no, of course
by
not,
the way.
But it's so unshocking.
It's fucked up to do that, but it's also super unsurprising that it happens. Yeah, you shouldn't be surprised it did. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, cool. And then last thing here, back to engine owning again. So partly until Activision continues to pursue its lawsuit against engine owning with latest filings identifying names of the owners of the company and asking the court to require engine owning to cease operations and give all money earned on cheap sales to Activision.
Damn.
Wow. So this is still ongoing. Best part of this article, though, that I'm glad Charlie Intel pointed out, because otherwise I wouldn't have cared. Let me read this line for you. Activision is informed and believes that on basis alleges that defendant, quote, big pile of poop is an individual residing in Europe who has acted as an admin for Engine Owning's Discord server and in their capacity has been responsible for developing, updating, marketing, distributing, and sale of the cheating software. I just think it's funny to see a legal document and with some guy's name, some guy's Discord name, big pile of poop.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So that's just great. So that's still ongoing, and Engine Owning is still running rampant. They were the cheating software that were all over MW2 from what I saw. So
yes. Cool. Yeah, I follow Engine Owning on Twitter so that I can see whenever they have a sale or launch new cheats or something. And because I'm their highest paying customer, obviously. Yeah. But
you're low KD
1.6 KD, by the way. Yeah, exactly. So the reason this is besides big pile of poop, which is funny, the last thing I recall being a development in this lawsuit is that Activision was trying to get the names of the owners.
Yes.
And then a couple weeks later, now they got the names. And you need the names, I think, to help you with your lawsuit, probably. It's probably important. And yeah, other than that, I have no idea if they're going to win. Hopefully they do. I mean, I don't want the money to go to Activision, but I'd rather Activision have it than Engine Owning. So bankrupt these fucking cunts. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Who just, like, if you're, I don't know.
Yeah. Cool.
If you're a tech guy and you're like, obviously you're really talented if you can make, well, maybe it's not that hard, actually. I don't know. But it seems hard to me.
Make cheats?
I don't know anything about it. To make cheats.
Wait, I mean, we don't know how to do it, yeah.
Anti-cheats and shit. Why don't you make a company doing something else that's like not shitty?
Well, because they're all driving around in Lamborghinis and shit. So they're making a lot of money from it.
It probably is a pretty easy way to make a fuck ton of money if you know.
It's probably easy hacking. Yeah. And there's probably less chance of getting in long-term major like trouble and prison time doing that than something like if these guys are fucking hacking, you know, JP Morgan or something.
Oh, I just meant the alternative being like an upstanding above board tech company. Like I don't know.
Harder to start up maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
But then you're right. It's like, wait, what do you make though? That would be hard. So I guess cheating, it kind of makes sense, but fuck these people and hopefully they get thrown in Gitmo.
True.
Sure. So yeah. All right, Tanner, anything else?
Nope.
That's it. Fuck toys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. A lot coming down the pike. That's what they say, right? Sure. Down the pike. Okay, we'll go with that. We got 28 days till MW2 comes out. The podcast is going to be abrim with fucking content between now and then, and especially after then as well, because we're going to be getting MW2, we're going to be getting DMZ, we're going to be getting Warzone 2. There is going to be so much shit, campaign even. There's going to be a lot of content to fucking sink our teeth into, theory craft, and work together to figure out what's good, what's bad, is this fun, is this not fun, etc. A lot of good shit is going to be on this podcast. A lot of good content. I am extremely excited for it. I'm going to be rejuvenated. So will Tanner. We're very excited for the game. The beta was fun. There's going to be so much to talk about. The Saturday eps are going to be bangers in the coming months. The Thursday eps are going to be bangers in the coming months. And the Patreon eps are going to be absolute bangers in the coming months. We do 5 bonus episodes per month at patreon.com/thedropshot. That also entitles you to all of our episodes ad-free and early access. It is the best way to support the show. We offer more things than that as well for our patrons. You can check out the website for full details. But the bonus episodes for the months of October, and especially November and December and January, honestly, are going to be insanely good. I'm really excited to record them. Even the Saturday public eps, if you don't want to spend money on us, are going to be fucking awesome once the new game launches. I'm incredibly excited. So stick around. Go to thedropshot.com. You can find links to everything. Stay connected with us. Follow the Twitter, join the Discord, and of course, join the Patreon. So with that said, thank you all for watching and listening. Stay humble.
Stay humble.